Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome everyone in today's class for the first intermediate grade. Our textbook is Super Goal 2 and today we will cover what can you do there, conversation and about you. This lesson will be presented by me, teacher Mazina Harbi, and the sign language by Mr. Salih Al-Ajan. So let's begin. Our objectives in today's lesson, we hope that at the end of this lesson, you will be able to answer questions from a conversation and form a conversation with a partner. Before we do this, let's make a quick revision on our last lesson. On our last lesson, we have listened to an advertisement for a new town mall, and we have answered a couple of statements and we agreed whether they are true or false. And also we have practiced how can we use can and can't, whether in questions and in sentences. For example, in question, we pronounce it like this. Can you ride a bike? Can you ride a bike? And with the sentences, whether affirmative or negative, we can say, I can ride a bike. I can ride a bike, but I can't rollerblade. But I can't rollerblade. So this is, we talked about the difference between pronouncing can if it comes as a question or as a sentence. And as for our lesson today we have a conversation. We're going to listen to this conversation, and after we listen, we'll have a couple of questions to answer. So what I would like you to do now is to open your books on page 30. I would like you to open your books on page 30. So, I have one question for you. If you have a look at the pictures that you can see on page 30, tell me what kind of sport or what sport are they talking about? So, from the picture, you can see in front of you what sport are they talking about in the conversation. Very good. The sport is tennis. So now we're going to listen to a conversation about the sport of tennis. So, here we have the conversation between Ali and Imad. We're going to listen to them talking about their sports, which is tennis. After this, we're going to answer a couple of questions. Before we start the conversation, as usual, we're going to listen to it twice. The first time, we only listen for listening, and the second time, we're going to listen to look for specific information and to have a general or more thorough ideas about what is the conversation about. So now, let's begin listening to the conversation.
Can you play tennis?
Yes, I can.
Do you want to play a match?
Sure. When's good for you?
I prefer the weekend. I have more free time. How about Thursday afternoon?
I can't. I'm busy. How about Saturday morning?
Good idea. What time?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, on a Saturday morning. Are you crazy?
Very well. Now we have listened to the conversation for the first time. Now let's listen for the second time and now try to focus about what exactly Imad and Ali are planning to do.
Can you play tennis?
Yes, I can.
Do you want to play a match?
Sure. When's good for you?
I prefer the weekend. I have more free time. How about Thursday afternoon?
I can't. I'm busy. How about Saturday morning?
Good idea. What time?
8 o'clock.
8 o'clock, on a Saturday morning. Are you crazy?
Very well. Now, from this conversation, we have listened to Ali and Imad. And we have listened to Ali when he's offering and asking Imad whether he can play tennis. And also he offers him the chance to play tennis with him. And also we have seen when Imad asked him for the right time. And Imad chose a specific time to Ali. And he suggests a specific time to Ali to play together. So this is what the conversation is mostly about, and now we're going to explain it little further for more details. So the first question I ask you, or I have for you, which is, what do Ali and Imad want to do? What do Ali and Imad want to do? So from the conversation, there is a certain activity that they would like to do. Could you remember, or could you say what that activity is? Very good. They want to play a tennis match. They want to play a tennis match. Now let's move on to the other question. Do they want to play on a weekday? Do they want to play on a weekday? So what do you think? Did they say that they would like to play on a weekday? Very good. No, they want to play on the weekend. They want to play on the weekend. That's where they can have more free time. Now, here we have a couple of expressions that are very important, and I would like to highlight for you. The first one is, when is good for you? When is good for you? What do you mean by that question is, what time is good for you? What time is good for you? We usually use that kind of question when we ask the person in front of us, or when we ask people about what time they prefer, what time they would like, so you can do the activities that you agreed on. And the second one, are you crazy? Are you crazy? So this question, you're not actually looking for an answer, but in this question, you are asking this kind of question because you have heard something that is strange, something that you do not agree with. So we usually, in a conversational language, we use this question, are you crazy? Just we use it when you are saying something that the other people think is strange and weird, and so you ask, or you can make the same type of question. Now, here we have the conversation again. We're going to refer to this conversation when we are going to answer the questions that follow. So this is the conversation, and these are the blue questions, the questions that are written in blue. Those are the new questions that I would like you to focus on and to learn the meaning and when can we use them actually. So these more likely questions that not exactly looking for answers, they just expressing time for the first one, and here to expressing that you heard something strange, something that you don't agree with. So here we have about the conversation. Here we have 4 questions that need to be answered. So let's read those questions first, and then we'll refer to the conversation and answer them, or look for the answers. So the first one is, can Imad play tennis? Can Imad play tennis? This is the first question. The second one, can Imad play on Thursday afternoon? Can Imad play on Thursday afternoon? And the third one, when can he play? When can he play? What time? And the fourth one, what does Ali think about the time? What does Ali think about the time? So here we have 4 questions. We're going to answer them. We're going to read the question, refer back to the conversation, and come again and write down the answer. So let's start with the first one. Can Imad play tennis? So going back to the conversation, what do you think? Can Imad play tennis? Very good. The answer is yes, he can. Yes, he can. Imad says here that yes, I can. He can play tennis. Now let's move on to the second question. Can Imad play on Thursday afternoon? Can Imad play on Thursday afternoon? So let's refer back to the conversation and see. Ali here asked Imad, how about Thursday afternoon? What did Imad say? He said, I can't, I am busy. I can't, I am busy. So here the answer, of course, will be no, he can't. He is busy. He has something else to do. And the third one, when can he play and what time? When can he play and what time? So now we're going, the same question goes for Imad. When can he play? He said that Thursday afternoon, I am busy. So Imad, when can you play? And not when, also what time exactly? Imad here suggested that, how about Saturday in the morning? How about Saturday morning? So here where Imad is offering or suggesting time for his friend Ali. What did Ali say? Did he say that is okay? Yes, here Ali said it is good idea. So we go back to the conversation and we write, he can play on Saturday morning. He can play at 8 o'clock. He can play at 8 o'clock. So here Imad specifies a certain time. And number 4, what does Ali think about the time? What does Ali think about the time? Did he agree on that time or not? So let's go back to the conversation and see. Imad said 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and Ali responded by saying, repeating that time, 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning, are you crazy? So what do you think? Did Ali agree on that time? We can know that he didn't agree because he used it, or he used the expression, are you crazy? Why? Because he heard something that is strange. He doesn't agree with the time. 8 o'clock on a Saturday morning. Saturday morning, of course, as we know, is a weekend. And playing in the morning at the weekend, this is something for Ali is strange. So we can write down the answer, which is, he thinks that 8 o'clock is too early. He thinks that 8 o'clock is too early. And why is it too early? Because they are playing on the weekend, not the weekdays. So here we have the answers of the questions about the conversation. The first one, can Imad, let's read it again. Can Imad play tennis? Yes, he can. And can Imad play on Thursday afternoon? No, he can't. He says that he is busy. And when can he play? What time? He said that he can play on Saturday morning. And what time? He said he can play at 8. And here we can have this answer in one sentence. We can say that he can play at 8 o'clock on Saturday morning, as we have learned from the previous unit. And also the fourth one, what does Ali think about the time? He thinks that 8 o'clock is too early because it is in the weekend. Now, we'll move on to the your turn, okay? Your turn. So what you need to do now, invite your partner to play a game or sport and go on an outgoing and etc. So what I need you to do now is just to try to suggest an activity for a partner, whether if it's a family member or a friend or a classmate or anyone you would know. So just have this conversation with him and you try to fill in the blanks. For example, you can, this is you can start by the word let's, and here suggest what kind of activity. Let's study, let's play a match, let's go out, okay? And when he agrees, okay, and when he asks for a time, you can write down the time here. And I can't, for example, for whatever reason he might think of, and you can suggest another time by starting your question by saying, how about? How about? So we usually use how about when you suggesting an idea and you try to look for alternative or another time. Okay, so I have wrote an example here. When I ask someone, I said, let's hang out, let's go out together. And he said, good idea. When I suggested that we should go out today, we should go out today. And he said, I can't because I am busy. I am busy. He has other things to do. So I suggested, how about tomorrow? You are busy today, so how about tomorrow? And he says that is great, or that is a good idea. So this is an example of a conversation. You can have a similar one when you interview or you work with your partner or classmate or family member and try to fill in the blanks with this conversation. Now, our last part for today, here we have a couple of questions that is about you, and you need to answer them. Just think about yourself and answer those questions. The first one, do you like sports? Do you like sports? We have listened to Ali and Imad talking about their favorite sports, which is a tennis match. And in the previous unit, we have listened, the second semester, we have listened to Saeed when he says that he likes, or Umar Hamdan when he says that he likes football and he wants to become a professional football player. So what about you? Do you like sports? So if you like them, you like to practice them, you like to do those sports in your free time, or you just like to watch them. There is a big difference between these two things, so just think of it. Do you like sport? Yes or no? And the second one, what sports and games can you play? So if you says that you like sports, so what kind of sports or games that you can play? So for example, talking about football, talking about tennis or table tennis even, talking about volleyball, about basketball. So what kind of sport that you like and what kind of sport that you like to do in your free time? So this question can have as many answers as you would like because of the sports that you prefer. And how often do you play them? This is a very important question. How often do you play those sports that you like? Do you play them on the weekdays or on weekend? And if you do play them on weekdays, where? Do you play them, for example, at school or at the park of your neighborhood or at the weekend, and what time exactly when you play them? So just tell us how often, once a week, twice a week, or once a month, twice a month. So here you need to talk more about how often do you practice or do those sports that you like. And the fourth one, do you like to watch sports on TV and which ones? So as we said that there is a big difference between watching that you like sports and you like to watch sports. There are a big difference between them. So if you do like to watch sport matches on TV, which one of them? Do you like football matches? Do you like basketball matches? Do you like tennis matches? Here you need to specify what kind of match do you like. And not only this, can you get excited? Do you support any clubs that you watch on a regular basis? So here you need to talk more about your favorite sport and also what kind of sport you like. So all of these four questions, actually we have answered them, or we have similar answers to those questions from Imad and Ali when they talked about their favorite sport, when they said that what time would they like to play, and also when they say when they can play it. Also, they said what is their preferred time and how often they do it. So we have listened when Imad said that I do it in my free time, and also when Ali said that yes, I can do it, I can play tennis. So these are very important four questions. It's about you, just to learn more about yourself and about your preference in sport and what do you like. So this is the first one, is a yes or no question. Do you like sports? Yes or no? And what sports and games can you play? Here you need to specify, as we said, just tell us the things that you can, not how often do you do them, but if you can play football, if you can play basketball, if you can play volleyball. So here you need to specify, here you need to mention them exactly, and also how often do you play them? How often? Okay, once a week, as we said, twice. Just tell us how often do you play them, and if you like to watch them, and which one, specify the kind of sport that you like to watch. And now we have reached the end of our lesson. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you next time.